Hey everybody, Star 6 Wars 1 here, and welcome to the next Months of Gynax video. For this one, we are taking a look at Petite Princess Yucie. In my opinion, one of the weirdest Gynax shows out there. I don't mean like the show itself is weird, I mean the whole fact Gynax made this is weird. Gynax is known for three things that I find, and a few other minor things. 1, boobs. 2, guns. 3, mechs. This show, for the majority of it, had none of those things, making Princess Yucie a very big oddity in Gynax's formula, or at least the former formula. I'm still not quite into the more current Gynax shows. So there's that. So first up, the story. Okay, I'm not going to describe the story because I'll put it in this way. Do you know the magical girls genre? The fact of girls that have magical powers and attend schools or are taught how to save the world? Yeah, that's kind of this. I admit I don't think it's completely the magical girl formula, but it's pretty damn close. The story does revolve around Yucie trying to get the emerald, the eternal tiara, so she can make a wish to be older, because she and 4 other students in this school are cursed to being stuck at 10 years old. Each of them wanting to become their true age 17 for various reasons, and them doing community service little things or everything, little things like that. Honestly, the story is not a focal point, and I really think for Gynax, this is a way too simple a plot. And I'm gonna come off very, like, what? Simple, but doesn't simple work? Not necessarily. FLCL is a very complicated and weird story, and that worked for Gynax. In the case of Princess Yucie, I don't think the simple plot works. But then again, I'm not the biggest fan of the magical girl genre. I have no problem with it, and I'm perfectly fine to watch it, but I'm not the biggest fan of it. So I'm a little on the hesitant side with it. The story isn't bad, just maybe a little too simple for my tastes. Again, kind of odd. Normally I talk a lot about the characters of a show, but in this case, I could describe them usually with one sentence. Yucie is the overreactive, happy-go-lucky character. The demon princess is this egotistical bitch. No offense, she was my least favorite character. We have the stoic heaven princess. We have the shy spirit princess. And we have the stubborn fairy princess. And I just described all 5 characters with at least one phrase and or personality trait. I'm sorry, but the characters kind of came off that way. They're not necessarily bad, and for what it's worth, they do fill their roles in kind of nicely and aren't too annoying. I've heard and seen worse, is what I'm trying to get at. But the characters are sometimes, yeah, this isn't the best character development. Not even from Gynax. To give credit where it's due, though, the dub is actually not that bad. Okay, it's not really noteworthy, kind of like some of the other Gainax dubs. But this one is at least a pretty good job. Just really no notable performances, but nothing really too bad either. You can probably stomach this one. I do recommend, if you watch Princess Yucie, watch it dubbed. I've not watched a sub because it's not that bad. Next up, the animation. This is one of the few positive things I'll give Princess Yucie. The animation, for the time, is good, and you can still probably watch this type of animation today with no problems. So, kudos to Princess Yucie for that much. The music's another story. Sadly, kinda like some of the other shows I mentioned with very debatable music, this one doesn't have all that memorable a soundtrack. Not even the openings or endings, which there's only one for both. And sadly, neither are really all that memorable, and all of them don't really stand out, so nothing really stand out worthy for the music. Complements the show well enough, but nothing noteworthy. Ultimately, I'm kind of indifferent toward it. The thing is, this is one anime where I'm going to say it's got nothing terrible in it. Like, no. It's not He Is My Master. It's not Mahoromatic parts where there's something completely horrible. No, this one's nice and safe. It's nothing terrible in it. The problem is there's nothing really that outstanding about it either. Except for one little thing that I like to call the ending. This is the first Gainax show that's had somewhat of a happy ending. Believe me when I say this, I've watched several other Gainax anime, and let me point it out in this regard, most of them have either confusing happy endings, bittersweet endings, or outright depressing endings. And I'll be honest, this one is the first straight up happy. I just wish it was in a show I cared more about. Overall, this is, once again, like I brought up in the very beginning, a weird show for Gainax. Not only because it's Magical Girl, which I think they've only maybe done one other after this, but we'll get to that later. But this show is... what's a good word? Average. The show is average. It's got average characters, an average story, average music, and compared to the animation of today, average animation. So this anime kind of just breaks even for me. Nothing stands out, but there's nothing too terrible in it either. So, there's that. I give Petite Princess Yucie a 6 out of 10. It's just a little bit above average because there really isn't anything terrible about it, and for a Gainax anime, that is kinda nice. But I will admit this right now, if you don't like the Magical Girl formula, I would not recommend this. This is for Magical Girl fans only. So I'm going to say, if you don't like the Magical Girl genre, I'd skip this one. But if you do, I'd at least give it a watch and see what you think. I can't wholeheartedly recommend this one. That's kind of why it's getting a bit lower a score, and it's the same one as Mahoromatic. Because I think it's technically better than Mahoromatic in many regards, but it falls under average, and I really can't recommend it to too many people either, like Mahoromatic. So, we're stuck with a kind of just a bit above average anime. Anyways, that's all from me. This has been Star 6 Wars 1, and I'll see you guys next time.